It's been a long day already because it is 3 o'clock. Today, Wednesday, 19th November 2025. Yeah, so since the dawn of today up until now, I could say it's been a long day, right? So, how is your day going? How's your Wednesday going? Well, mine is fine. Anytime I'm always here, anytime I find myself here with you, of course, I'm always okay, trying to push aside, shove aside whatever it is that's trying to make my day to be bad, whatever negative vibe that's trying to force its way into me. I always push it aside. As long as I've got you, I am covered. Hi there, welcome to Hashtag Trending, brought to you by Spectrum Television. My name, that's my name. Yeah, that's my name. You're saying it already. My name is Ofanono Joseph, and yeah, this is me. I have things can never stop happening in my country, my beloved country, Nigeria, and outside of Nigeria. Things can never stop happening. That's trending. Yeah, so that's why you got me. I've got that part of your life covered for you because you got me. And of course, using this platform, Spectrum Television, I bring to you trending stories, viral stories that cuts across human angle, politics, education, relationship, love, marriage, agriculture, mention it. As long as it is trending, that is what I do. All right. I don't know. Today is a lot of stories, terrible stories of insecurity, abduction. I don't know why that is trending in Nigeria, but of course, it's what we do. We talk about things that trends. All right, recently, this week that we're in, today is Wednesday, so it is just yesterday that it happened. A service was ongoing in a church in Kwara State in Ekuru, and unknown gunmen, terrorists, bandits, invaded the church, shot sporadically from the outside, invaded the church, picked people's handbags, shot some people, got some persons injured, and abducted the pastor of that church. This is what we see happening most of the times in our country. And some persons still say there's no genocide in Nigeria. Whether Islamic genocide, Fulani genocide, traditional genocide, atheist genocide, Christian genocide, there is murder, constant murder that's ongoing in Nigeria every day, and it's a lot in the north. Something has to be done. Let's see the horrific video. when somebody is supposed to be safe in their house or in a place of worship or in their country, but when trouble finds you outside and comes into your house, a place of refuge, into a place of worship to find you, where is somebody supposed to run to? That there's no peace in one's country. It happens that if someone travels outside of one's country and there is war or insecurity or terrorism in that country that the person travels, so you're like, I've got a home, I've got a country, I want to go back home to my country, to where I can call home, to where I can have peace of mind, to where I am known, to where I can feel free and secure. And you want to go back to your country, Nigeria. And if this is happening in my country, your country, Nigeria, you're not even safe in your country, in your house, Nigeria. Then where is someone supposed to run to take refuge or to take cover when there is insecurity, when there's terrorism, when someone feels scared? Where is somebody supposed to run to? This is really painful. I don't know what to say. It breaks the heart. It breaks the heart a lot. And we still have our highly placed politicians that we rely on, that we depend on, talking about the forces in Nigeria and of course the government of Nigeria that we hope and rely on, saying that there is no insecurity in Nigeria. This is very recent. Where are we supposed to run to? Where are we supposed to go to seek for help? We just pray that this particular phase of ours that has lingered for decades just passes away already, so that a new era could come, a new phase could come, where we could be in our houses and feel safe, whether you shut the door or you lock the door or not. In the night, you could all lie down and sleep and wake up, and your property is intact. You walk in the night, you're coming back from work, you are safe. No one is harassing you, there's no abduction, there's no theft. You just walk out the street and you're safe. Or you're coming back from somewhere in the night and you're driving and you are safe. I just pray we go back to that era where Nigeria used to be very safe and where neighbors used to look out for each other, right? Watching each other's back. Let's take a few comments on social media about this terrifying video. Mbakwem Pascal says, meanwhile, the president is about to embark on a trip outside the country, despite a state of insecurity that is gradually creeping into erstwhile peaceful communities. Nobody seems to care about this situation. All right, I just pray they care. If you feel nobody cares, I know there are some highly placed politicians that care. Ochie Chukwuka says, the apologists would tell you it was staged by members of the church to prove beyond unreasonable doubt that genocide is not committed in Nigeria. That's coming from Chukwuka. Mazi Uche says, moments like this show how deeply Nigeria has been failed by its government and the people who defend it. Innocent lives are gone. Fear is rising, and those in power still move without urgency. This is not weakness from the people. I don't know why I feel that I have said a lot, but you can't give up. If you're asking for something, you cannot stop asking when what you're asking for has not been given to you, right? We are asking that there should be peace and security, protection of lives and property in Nigeria, which is not an impossible thing to be done, right? So we're asking, we're not going to get tired of talking about it, of lending our voices, of crying out, all right, of pleading with the authorities to look into the situation, to the high level of insecurity and murder cases in Nigeria, and do what they ought to do, because it is not beyond their powers for them to curtail these happenings or to nip it in the bud. It's not beyond their powers. They can do it. We're still hoping, we're still counting on their help, and we're not backing down, right, from talking about it until help is given, help is rendered. Still talking about the murder and the insecurity, terrorism in Nigeria. Nicki Minaj, a U.S. rapper, has lent her voice in an international gathering to the insecurity that's happening in Nigeria. You know, specifically talking about Christian genocide in Nigeria. You saw in that video that it was a church, right? Christians are the people that go to church. Okay, Muslims go to a mosque. So it was a church that was invaded and some persons were killed. And there was a live stream, because that's how we got to see this video. The service was being, recorded live, and that's how we got to see this video. So I won't say there is, genocide on the part of Christians alone. Yeah, there's Christian genocide, but other people of other faith are also dying. There's general insecurity in Nigeria, and we need help. So in this particular international gathering, Nicki Minaj, the famous rapper in the U.S., has lent her voice to the insecurity that's happening in Nigeria. Let's watch.
In Nigeria, Christians are being targeted, driven from their homes, and killed. Churches have been burned, families have been torn apart, and entire communities live in fear constantly, simply because of how they pray. Sadly, this problem is not only a growing problem in Nigeria, but also in so many other countries across the world, and it demands urgent action. And I want to be clear. Protecting Christians in Nigeria is not about taking sides or dividing people. It is about uniting humanity. Nigeria is a beautiful nation with deep faith traditions and lots of beautiful barbs that I can't wait to see. When one's church, mosque, or a place of worship is destroyed, everyone's heart should break just a little bit. And the foundation of the United Nations, with its core mandate to ensure peace and security, should shake. I am joined here today by peace builders, by faith leaders, by those who saw violence, saw rising intolerance, saw the threats clearly before us, and chose not to look the other way. I am inspired by their work to build interfaith ties, to see the humanity across the lines which might divide us, and to fight for security and liberty for all those who pray. I look forward to our discussion today, and I hope it will encourage deepened solidarity for us to urgently work together to ensure every person can enjoy the right to believe, to worship, and to live in peace.
If you know Nicki Minaj, you know Nicki Minaj. If you do not know her, well, welcome to knowing her. You might as well Google who Nicki Minaj is. So for her to come and talk about what is happening in our country, am I supposed to be ashamed? I don't know. Because I don't know why some persons are saying, we're good. Leave us to fight our fight. If we fight, we're going to settle it within us. We're not a part of each other. If we fight, we will come back together. You know, we are one. Stop trying to sow discord, talking about Christians, talking about Muslims. Stop trying to sow discord. Nothing is happening amongst the Christians or Muslims against the Christians. All right, the Christians are good. The Muslims are good too. We're all good. Stay away from saying that, you know, there's insecurity in Nigeria. How come? She doesn't even have time. Nicki Minaj does not even have time to go through social media about 1 in 1,000 things that's happening in the United States. She doesn't have that time to go through all of what, talking about her music career and her personal life, to come and think of us Africans, Nigeria to be precise. She doesn't have that time. But no, the murder, the genocide is glaring. You know, is right there. You cannot hide it. It's like pregnancy. You can keep it for a month, 2, 3. It's just there, glaring, even that the blind can see. So if a busy person like rapper Nicki Minaj has an idea, call it whatever you want to call it political, say she was sponsored or she was paid to talk about what's happening in Nigeria, is what she said a lie? Is what she just said a lie? So if she was sponsored or paid or pushed or whatever to talk about what she just talked about in Nigeria, is what she said a lie? We should talk about it. It's not a lie because it's all over here. The next trend I have is still about terrorism, insurgency. That's the next, like the whole of today is all about that because that is what is trending. These people are not going to rest. Nicki Minaj has lent her voice. I hope the authorities in Nigeria are seeing and are planning to do something in order to bring peace and stability in Nigeria. Let's take a few comments on social media. All right. Hi-Fi Damien says, an outsider speaking on the genocide going on in the country when we have our own celebrities who have never spoken about it. Shame to you all. All right. Adegungun Uthman says, imagine Nigeria's leaders quiet like mute button, but Nicki Minaj don't reach you or us. At this point, even celebrities are doing the job of the government. You see that? All right, this is the last comment we're taking. Michael Bobo says, what's more ridiculous is that you won't see any Nigerian artists speak about atrocities happening in Nigeria in this manner. It's all about sold out ticket and streams. A number of streams. Well, whether anybody talks about it or not, whether artists talk about it, whether religious leaders talk about it, whether imams talk about it, whether the political leaders talk about it, I am saying that it is there and glaring. So you can decide to talk about it, you can decide not to talk about it, but it's there. It doesn't negate the fact that whether you talk about it or you do not, okay, there's no insecurity. No, it is there, and we need a positive change. That's why we're saying something should be done about this. All right, we are very aware of the 25 students that were abducted in Kebbi State. Yeah, the 25 girls that were abducted and a principal killed, some injured that were abducted. And the military, you know, organized a troop to rescue these students. And guess what? On the rescue mission, in the middle of it, you know, going to rescue the abducted 25 students, they were ambushed. Terrorists attacked the troops. The Nigerian military troops attacked the troops and got them injured. Well, this particular video might be blurred, but let's see the video.
Sorry, Aminu.
Oh boy, if today you don't stand well, that they don't finish us for that part.
Isa naka nene pa nake maka tsoro ba. So, ada wani ko banda wannan ne Musa na Allah li jina cikin emra kuma sha baya na kalbe sharo yin won save na for bag na two places that PKT this thing you saw no be broche na fire no you enter o na bullet dey there. Calm down.
What then are we talking about? Or is this applied for the military to seek the sympathy of Nigerians? No, you won't just deliberately go hurt yourself or shoot yourself for sympathy. Who does that? That's awkward. That's foolish, right? The same thing we're talking about. Who are they that are armed, well weaponized than the Nigerian military? And they are living in Nigeria. Because these people didn't come from Kenya, they didn't come from Johannesburg, they didn't come from China, they didn't come from Japan. They here in Nigeria ambushed the military on their way for a rescue mission and hurt them the way we just saw in the video. They live right here in Nigeria. Can they not be traced? Can they not be apprehended? They can. It is not an impossible thing. Oh my goodness. We're so sorry about what's happening to the Nigeria military that wholeheartedly, willingly came out to rescue the abducted 25 students, but their lives were threatened. We hope they are well taken care of and they recover quickly. Then finally, the students that were abducted in Kebbi State are found and brought to their parents and guardians. Let's take comments on social media. Omenta Bright says, a rescue mission, but more like a suicide mission, because before they left, some of their colleagues has informed the terrorists of an approaching attack. Reason why many times Nigerian soldiers on a rescue mission have been attacked. All right. This is sad coming from Omenta Bright. Mel says, always a step ahead, and we wonder why we're losing the fight against terrorism. Who's leaking info to these terrorists? Okay, if you ask me, who I go ask, right? The honcho says there are moles in the Nigerian military leaking information to these terrorists, and every operation is just a death trap for the troops. Great, yeah. So who told them the route they will be taking, the what, the calculations, the map, the number of, personnel that were dispatched? Who told them? How did they get to know about all of this? And how is it that they were more, the troops of the terrorists were more than that of the military? Sophisticated weapons. How did they get it? What means of transportation do they use? Why is it faster, efficient, effective than those of the Nigerian military or forces generally in Nigeria? Why? Why are they always a step ahead? Why? And they live in my country. And they cannot be fished out. They can't be traced. Are they invisible? And they're just visible when they want to attack and they become invisible again? Even if they are, they can still be traced and arrested and given due punishment, right? It's well. I just pray that the Nigerian military that were injured are taken good care of and they regain their strength and serve their country that they swore to serve. Wishing them a swift recovery. All right, amidst the insecurity, the attacks, the murder that's ongoing in Nigeria, there was a clash, recent clash between PDP stalwarts, you know, in their national headquarters in Abuja. And you need to see the crowd and the number of persons talking about politics itself, politics and playing politics, right? Like they came out en masse for their convention to meet, for their gathering. They saw it was a serious thing for them to turn up, and they did. They turned up for the meeting, and they had a clash, right? Talking about Wike having a clash with the other faction, but still in PDP, Sheyi Makinde and others. Bwala Muhammad. Let's see the video. It's a long one.
That's it. Now let's try on that.
Despite what's happening in my country, that's what you see grown adults, like adults, you know, they've got families doing. You know, some time back, the PDP had expelled Mwike and Samuel Anyang from saying they're here and there, like they're in PDP but serving in APC and all, and they're like, no. So this particular clash and fight is between people in the same party, talking about the governor of Bauchi State, Bala Mohammed, Sheyi Makinde, the governor of Oyo State, the FCT minister, Nyesom Ezenwonwike, Samuel Anyang. Like, these people they're falling out with each other in the same party. There is a clash. And you saw how people came out en masse despite the stress that Nigerians are going through, talking about insecurity and murder. But these people, they want to know who the chairman is. They want to coordinate their parties. It's all about party, what comes into the party, arranging the party. And they came out en masse. That's it. Some people don't even care what's going on or what's happening. They fought, they pushed people. Adults. Let this particular phase of, inconsistency in PDP, People's Democratic Party, pass. We want to focus on what is before us, insecurity in Nigeria. Let the face of playing politics, the real politics now, not politics, not being elected by the people and you're governing and doing whatever for the people. No, this is politics, playing the real game of politics. We're done seeing cases like that in Nigeria. We want people that are elected to really be there to serve the people, in as well as they're doing well for themselves, but they should serve the people. This was happening amidst the insecurity in Nigeria, with wealthy and well-to-do, respected adults in the society. Let's take a few comments and we go over to the word that we have for the day. Nelson Collins says, nothing screams a party ready to rescue Nigeria like grown adults turning the PDP headquarters into a live-action wrestling ring. At this rate, even the chairs in that building, they scream hazard allowance. Vig says the misuse and abuse of power in Nigeria politics is too much. Meanwhile, where all this crowd come from? Where they come from? The same question I'm asking. The coolest one is saying this clash is not about how to govern Nigeria well, but it's about how much money they want to steal. That's your take, the coolest one. Like I said earlier, we want people that will be elected to really, protect lives and property, be there, elected by the people and rule for, right, on behalf of the people and not for themselves, their selfish interests, their families, and that's all their focus. And the Nigerians and people that elected them into power are suffering. We want a better Nigeria. In all of these, what we cry for, what we yearn for is a better Nigeria. Let things go back to the way it used to be, yeah, where you can walk out in the night, do your thing in the night, still come back safe, sleep and leave your door open, and no criminal, no, terrorists, no insurgency, no bandits, no Boko Haram, no unknown gunmen. Everything just goes back to the way it used to be. I hope this day is fast approaching because this is what majority of Nigerians want. What's the word that we have for today before we call it a wrap? The word of the day is serendipity. Serendipity. What does serendipity means? It means a luck that takes the form of finding valuable or pleasant things that are not looked for, or to an instance of such luck. All right, go through that again. A sentence example of serendipity is they found each other by pure serendipity. They found each other by pure serendipity. That's you know, by luck. Yeah. My name is Afonono Joseph, and these are the stories that are trending on social media, of course, that I brought to you as my job. That's what you know that I do on hashtag trending. And I thank you so much and appreciate you for doing this with me. I will see you tomorrow. Like always, stay out of trouble. And please pray for peace and security in Nigeria, wherever you are. I love you now and always. See you tomorrow.